The universe isn't a lawless, chaotic wasteland. The vast majority of stars are. Galaxies are organized into clusters separated by immense, almost incomprehensible distances. Between galaxies is an area of space. Intergalactic space is a term used to describe the space between galaxies. It is not completely devoid of life, despite its limited population. In this region, even isolated stars have been identified. Hello there, everyone. Thank you for returning. Let's take a closer look at an occurrence occurring in cosmic space that astounds astronomers in this video. But first, one of our lucky subscribers will receive $100. You only need to view the complete video. Leave a remark with the most important thing you learned. Share and subscribe if you like it. So, without further ado, let's get this party started. As a result, astronomers have discovered one of the more than 400 spectacular exploding stars. When they look back 30 years, they see years. The most distant stars and galaxies in the Large Magellanic Cloud have recently been revealed in photographs taken by the Webb telescope. A photo of what appears to be a ring-like object has been obtained. The enormous Magellanic Cloud's star-forming region. The Hubble Space Telescope has already begun its journey. A photograph of one of these items. When zoomed in on a region of the Large Magellanic Cloud with a lot of star formation, an object that looks like a closed book appears. 1987 is the name of a supernova. It is possible to notice A is the thing in the shape of a ring. Have you ever heard of a supernova? Let's have a look. Supernova 1987 is a massive supernova. It was discovered on February 23, 1987, and it burned with the intensity of 100 million suns for several months after that. Scientists have been fascinated by SN's brilliant light display since it was originally discovered. It is the nearest supernova explosion in hundreds of years that has been observed. It also provides the best opportunity for astronomers. They've only had to look at the stages that occur before, during, and after a star's death thus far. Hundreds of pictures of S in 1987 have been gathered by since 1990. The Hubble Space Telescope is a space telescope that was launched in 1990. Shortly after its launch in 1999, the Chandra X-ray Observatory began monitoring it. A sturdy array of 66 antennas has been in place since the start of the ALMA project. Using millimeter and submillimeter wavelengths, has been collecting data on SN 1987 at a high resolution. According to Harvard's Robert Kirchner, Cambridge, Massachusetts Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics. In addition, there's the Gordon and Betty Moore Foundation. SNOVA's observations over the last 30 years have been relevant in Palo Alto, California, because they reveal information about the final product. Stages in the evolution of a star. According to the most recent data from these powerful telescopes, SN 187 has reached a significant milestone. The explosion's shockwave passes through the dense ring of gas that formed late in the star's life and became a supernova. When a fast came to an end, this ring was built. The star's outflow of wind clashed with a slower wind formed earlier in the star's life, as a red colossus. What lies beyond the ring is unknown at this time and depends on the details of the star's growth as a red giant. According to Penn State's Kyrie Frank, the subtleties of this transition were studied by university, who did the most recent Chandra investigation of SN 187A, will provide astronomers with more precise information. The sad star's life is recounted. What happened to it and how it died. S in 1987, it is an example of a supernova. Have the ability to stir up the gas in their environment, which could lead to the birth of new planets and stars. Elements will be added to the gas that will eventually form these stars and planets. Carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and iron are examples of these elements, which are the building blocks of all known forms of life. These substances are created by the star. A supernova is about to explode, and you're about to be a part of it. The expanding supernova remnants are to blame. These components are being dispersed throughout the host galaxy. In 1987, more research on the S was conducted in order to provide a new viewpoint on the early stages of this dispersal. The thick ring, according to Hubble's measurements. The supernova's surrounding gas emits optical light and has a diameter of around 1 light-year. The ring was already on the finger. For 200 years, the star has been exploding. The explosion produced ultraviolet light. the gas within the ring became energized, causing. After the explosion, it will continue to shine for decades. Only the middle structure was built at first, in the Hubble Space Telescope, seen within the ring. Since then, the image has extended to cover around a half of a light year, a speed of roughly 20 million kilometers per hour. At the bottom, there are two lumps of trash. The supernova remnants core is moving away from each other. The data collected by Chandra between 1999 and 2013 showed that an expanding ring of X-ray emissions was steadily brightening over time. The blast wave from the initial explosion has been penetrating and heating the ring of gas that surrounds the supernova, which has resulted in the emission of X-rays. The level of X-ray brightness emitted by the ring has reached a plateau in recent years, since roughly February of 2013, when the first Chandra observation was examined. The overall amount of low-energy X-rays had stayed the same up until September of 2015, when it was done. In addition to that, the bottom left corner of the ring has started to lose its color. These alterations indicate that the blast wave from the explosion has migrated outside the ring and into a location with less dense gas. For SN, this occasion marks the end of an era. ALMA was first used in Panama in 2012. Investigate the supernova's brilliant remnants and see how the remnant is producing vast amounts of fresh dust from the new elements created in the parent star. Some of this dust will be catapulted into interstellar space, where it will start forming the formation on May 1st. There are stars and planets in a solar system that is completely different from our own. These studies show that the dust in the early cosmos was the most abundant. Supernova explosions that were quite similar are most likely to blame. Astronomers are searching the area for any signs of life, signs of a black hole or neutron star that may have been left behind by the explosion. They noticed a rush of neutrinos going their way. Before it became a supernova, it was a star. The discovery supports the theory that the collapse produced a compact entity, such as a neutron star or a black hole, of the star rating. However, no evidence for any of these hypotheses has yet been discovered by any observatory. The bright star took on a more distorted and jagged appearance due to the design of Webb's mirrors and the filters they contained. Regardless, the backdrop was the true star of the performance. You can't help but notice the hundreds of galaxies behind it. According to Jane Rigby, a physicist working on the Webb operations project, they're just gorgeous. These galaxies have existed for billions upon billions of years. She said it herself. Scientists believe that the Webb will one day be able to view objects from far away and back in time. It'll only take a few 100 million years, following the Big Bang. What comes next? The team will, according to NASA, over the next 6 weeks, complete the remaining alignment processes for the JWST. Now it's time to finish off Steen's instrument's last preparations. A near-infrared spectrograph, a mid-infrared instrument, a near-infrared imager, and a somewhat spectrograph will be added to the telescope. An algorithm will examine the performance of each instrument during this step of the approach, and it will then compute the final corrections required to establish a well-aligned telescope across all scientific equipment. The optical brilliance of the telescope's optics was once again demonstrated, and the science operations that will soon begin are nearing completion. Currently, there is a flying observatory. Tested has gone back to the most recent version. Photographs taken from a nearby satellite galaxy. When compared to photographs taken by NASA's earlier infrared observatory, the Spitzer Space Telescope, the discoveries are remarkable. Our goal, on the other hand, was to keep track of planets, satellites, and asteroids, as well as the comets that make up our solar system. As they move across the background, the system is activated. Our galaxy's stars. Webb must be able to latch onto and track these objects with enough precision in order to gather photos and spectra. The test confirmed Webb's carrying capacity. With shifting targets, conduct research. We will conduct testing with various things going at varying speeds as we progress through the commissioning process to ensure that we will be able to use what to research things moving around the solar system. How long do you think this rings will exist? 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 years. Thank you for watching. If you always want to be one step ahead of everyone and never miss an update on such topics, please subscribe to our channel.